Good evening, YouTube. Today I am putting together a pot of cabbage soup. I have one whole cabbage. These are the tops of the radishes. Don't mind that. That's my bitter melon leaves I dried to make tea. But you buy a pack of radishes. I take the tops and I'm using that in my soup. I have 2 carrots and I have 2 summer squash. Normally you would use cauliflower, but I don't have it. I'm in Southern California. We have more squash than we do cauliflower. And I have 1 onion and 2 celery ribs. This is a very easy recipe. To that, I am going to add 2 bay leaves and here we go, some spaghetti sauce. So I'm going to put that in the pot and I will be back. Okay, I got my vegetables in here and as you can see they've all cooked down and the meat's sitting on top. So now at this point what we do is we want to make sure all the spices are in the water, so the flavor's in the water, and you want to make sure that you get your meat in the water so that as it's cooking it will get marinated and filled with all those delicious flavors. And that is going to be our cabbage stew. We will slow cook this for an hour or till the meat is well done and falling off the bone, and that will be that. If I feel like I need more cabbage later, it's real easy. You just cut up some cabbage, put it in the pot, and you have more cabbage stew. So you don't make all your cabbage at one time, because this cabbage is going to turn pretty much to a liquid. And every time you serve a new bowl of cabbage soup, you just chop up some cabbage and you can have some nice crunchy cabbage in your soup instead of just having this buttery. This soup is going to taste very, very buttery. And nobody but you is going to know it's filled with vegetables. Okay? So we're going to let this cook. Oh, that looks good already. I am going to do one little step here that, I might have put it out of the way. Anyway, I'll show you. I take a whole clove of garlic. You have to have good garlic to do this. You can't do it with cheap garlic. And as you guys know, I buy really good garlic. So this is from my farm that I like to buy, Filigree Farm garlic. And I'm just going to put this in here whole. And that way, it's like, you know how people take a little baggie and they put their herbs in a bag and then they can pull the bag out later? Well, that will happen with this. That way, I can get the stronger herb from the skin of the garlic in addition to the weaker herb that's inside of it. I'm going to get way more garlic flavor in this cabbage stew. Guys, that is an optional step. So it's not traditional to put garlic in your stew, and it's certainly not traditional to put a whole garlic bulb in your stew. But I just did it, and I love it because this is winter time, and we won't be getting sick this winter. We're going to be nice and healthy, and cabbage soup is one of the traditional ways to stay well. I will say to you, this meat has the bones in it. Bones. When you slow boil bone and make what's called a bone soup, this cabbage soup is a bone soup. It gives you the calcium in forms that you can digest. You get calcium from the leafy vegetables, and then you get calcium from the bones of this lamb. This soup is going to be delicious. Once it's done, I will add some ketchup to flavor it, and we will eat soup for the week. I'll put it in little baggies, put it in the freezer. Anytime somebody wants some soup, all they got to do is eat it. Next time I come back, this soup will be cooked down and delicious. So I will talk to you then. Bye. Okay, so I put the pressure cooker on, and this is how you know it's done. The meat has fallen off of that bone. Here's another bone. You can see the chunks of meat are coming off. I'm just breaking it up. I just use this meat as a flavoring, obviously. It's mostly bone. I made the joke, it might be cabbage mutton stew, but there's not very much mutton in there. The good thing about mutton is it is a very fatty meat. So when you use a little bit of it in a dish, you really flavor it well. Now, if you want to, you can add a little ketchup to this to sweeten it. I often do that, but not at this point. See, the cabbage is nice and soft. When I make this dish, I will often add some more cabbage to it. I will let this cool and place it in containers in the freezer so that anytime we want, we can get our own bowl of homemade cabbage soup. And I'll be serving it to keep my family healthy this winter. Green vegetables and carrots and lovely mutton. Yeah, that bone, bone soup. This is a version of bone soup. So you get all that nice, easily digestible calcium there, And if you're lucky, you might be one of the people who get a little bite of mutton. So that's my cabbage soup. And like I said, since this won't be eaten all at one time, this cabbage is kind of blending into the soup and it'll kind of make it creamy. And I will add a small portion of cabbage each time I reheat it so that we have some fresh crunchy cabbage in there along with this. Also, you'll notice that you can't find the squash. The squash has also become a gravy. There's no flour in here. This is a very, very healthy soup. I have cooked it down to a concentrate. This is a concentrate. And the flavors will continue to come out as this cools. And each time I serve a bowl of soup, I will add a little cabbage and I will put some water in there to make it a nice liquidy soup for health. Bon appetit! And if you are making some of my recipes, I'd like to hear about it. Now we finished the holiday season, all the rich food has been eaten, and now it's on to those healthy, life-saving recipes that can rejuvenate the body and soul in preparation for coming spring and also for a very bountiful winter. Happy New Year! Talk to you later.